tuned into the Creatives Corner. I'm here with my girl, the model, the creative director, the entrepreneur, the everything, the boss diva, 100% go-getter, Miss Amber. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I had to bring you on because let me tell y'all something. This girl, like, she is such a go-getter. I swear she does not sleep because every time I'm turning
Okay.
around, it's new content on her social media. Like, she does not, in the middle of this pandemic, there is always new content on her social media. I don't know if she got some in the pocket or she just, still working and going on. So I had to bring her on just to talk about her life, her journey, and just so y'all can get some knowledge from her because, she's a boss. And for all those people out there that's trying to be a go-getter, this is the person that you need to talk to. And she also has a lot of things, a lot of information that you can feed off of. And I know you have like modeling classes and courses. So, for those who are modeling, this is a good person to connect with. So,
Yeah.
Miss Amber, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? It's a long rap sheet, y'all. Get prepared.
I'm gonna try to be brief, of course. First of all, I would like to say hello, everyone, and excuse the birds. There are lots of seagulls. It's a beautiful day outside. But yeah, so my name's Amber. I go by Amber Nicole. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Philadelphia, South Philly to be exact. I am a curvy model. I don't really like the word plus because it kind of boxes you in. Like, a lot of women have curves everywhere. So we have curves in our smile. We have curves, different curves all over the place, all over our bodies. So I am a curvy model. I have been modeling since I was in my mom's stomach. My mom was a professional model. She modeled for Ashley Stewart, David's Bridal. The list goes on. And I was in there. She basically inspired me. She didn't put this on me. She didn't throw me into modeling. It's just something that I kind of took on unconsciously, Also, I am a news assistant / production assistant at CBS 3 Eyewitness News here in Philadelphia. I have been there for almost a year. I love it. It's very hands-on. Get the job done, basically, for news. My job is kind of like triage for a hospital. So what I do is very important for when we go live on air. I just got laid off from being a events person for B101 under Intercom. So not only with B101, it was with 96.5 and KYW News Radio because of the pandemic and everything like that. So I no longer work there, but I was employed there for a little over 2 years. I was seen on the Ellen Show, so I might look familiar from that. You might have seen me on a few times for modeling. I do hold classes, as Janelle said, and more so, it's a curvy empowerment thing. So I have a project called the Curvy Empowerment Project where I host different workshops and different events, and I have a calendar that Janelle's also a part of that has different shapes and sizes of curvy women because curvy isn't just one size. It doesn't have to be the small waist big, but you can have a big bust, small waist, just different. It could be all mixed up, and my calendar definitely shows that with the women that I have a part of that. So yeah.
Sheesh. I told you the rap sheet was long, y'all. Like, literally. No, just real brief. To sum it all up, this is everything that I do right now. All of this stuff that she's talking about, she does right now. Like, literally right now. But I want to go back. You went to Temple University, right? You studied in communication and with the focus in journalism, and you said you had a Spanish. You were a Spanish certificate?
Yeah, I was certified in Spanish. I had to take 3 years of the classes, and yeah, it was a ride, guys. It was a ride.
Tell people who are, in the wake of the pandemic, a lot of schools you're taking it online, but you're still for those that are trying to figure out their journey within schooling. How did you get into journalism? Like, what made you go that route?
Yeah, I really want to know. Everything kind of has a story. So it first started when I was 13 years old. I graduated from 8th grade, obviously. And then I did a program with WHYY. And with that summer program, before you go to high school, we went out to the city and we interviewed, a bunch of different people. They taught us how to edit, how to use the camera, how to use the microphone, all types of things. And basically we interviewed people on how does music affect the youth? Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people answered that with lyrics, because of the parental, how you're raised and all that stuff like that. That was really cool. So it started there, and I instantly fell in love with it. I was in front of the camera, behind the camera, just to be so hands-on. I'm a hands-on person. So even with going to school, like, I'm the type of girl, like, I have to go to class. That's how I learn. I can't skip class, none of that. Like, I have to be there. And then when I was in high school, I went to Hollihan, John W. Hollihan High School, first all girls Catholic in the country. But we had HTV, and every morning there were morning announcements, and there's a TV in every classroom, and you listen to the announcements on there, and the students are the people who make those announcements, and I ended up joining, and I was on air giving announcements, and also working behind the scenes. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Senior year comes up. They were only selecting 2 seniors out of the whole school to be selected to be in a 6-week program with KYW News Radio, and I ended up being selected. And within that, I had to pick a topic that I wanted to do a documentary on, and it was going to be aired on the radio. It was a 2-minute documentary, and I did mine on community service because that's something I love to do. I was in the community service club in high school, and that was aired on the radio. I remember it was actually around this time, like in May. That was cool, and that's when KYW was still out with CBS 3. So I got to do it inside of CBS 3 because they're no longer together. They're completely separate now, KYW News Radio and CBS 3. So there, and I was like, oh yeah. But mind you, I loved science because when you got that good teacher and she just make you love the subject and you just
Mine was art history, so I know.
Okay. So I had a really good geometry teacher, and I'm like, oh my gosh. The periodic table. I love it. Like, she just made it so fun. Like, I just loved it. And I don't even know how we get to babies because of that. But basically, long story short, I wanted to deliver babies. So I was like struggling between what I wanted my major to be when I graduated from high school. I ended up having a cake that was a doctor's coat. It had, like, my mom was real fancy. It had like the name and the tag and all that stuff. Ended up going to Harvard University for journalism. I was trying to do both, but I was always told that no, they're the opposite. You can't do science and journalism, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, what is Dr. Oz?
Right.
He is medical and journalism. Like, they clearly. So I transferred to Temple University. I was on the track team there, and I transferred as a bio major. And I was still trying to somehow incorporate journalism into it. I don't care if I was going to take journalism classes or something. And I was just told that I couldn't do it. And so I ended up just changing my major to journalism because I'm like, okay. At first I was like, all right, I'll just, do the med part first because it takes longer and you can always go for journalism because it's not as many years. But then I was like, you know what? I've been journalism my whole life. Like, this is something that I want to do. So I'm going to just go for it and I'm going to stick with it. And it was more opportunity for me within the campus because they're good for journalism, Temple University. And so I joined the newspaper. I was joining TV, the radio station. Like, I was all over the place with it, and I really loved it. So it's just something I stuck with. And
basically, it's kind of been in your life. Like, it's been something that's been sitting in the side. Like, I like this thing. I keep getting opportunities with this thing. How can I incorporate this thing? And it just totally, I guess.
Also, how can I be me in a medical field? Like, there's nobody that's like, like, I have such a big personality and I wanted to use it. I didn't want to have to confine it just for a job or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like, it's just something that it was just latched onto. So because within a college decision for those who are, in college or going to college in this pandemic, it's to decide what you want to major in. It really is within you because you can't listen to anybody else. People have their own perceptions of what they want you to be, but if it doesn't speak to your heart, don't do it, because then you'll find yourself wasting years trying to make things work, and in reality that's not what you want. I did it. I went a youth mid major because my mom wanted me to do it, and then I was like, I wanted to do pre-law. I was youth mid and I was gonna be pre-law. I don't know how it was gonna work, but then one time I just stopped and I was like, I love it. I was falling in love with acting, and which communication was something that I really like to do. So I'm a communication major, mass media focus, and marketing. So that was just something that was just like, no, like, I like this. Like, I can't. Like, I'm not going to waste no more time trying to.
Like, communication in everything anyway. It's in acting, it's in law, it's in medical, like it's everywhere. So you can't avoid it. You know what I mean?
Right. So if you're out there and you're just contemplating, oh, what major should I be? You honestly, you 9 times out of 10 already know, but just are indecisive about the decision. So I know, just go for it. Go for what you want. Go for how you feel, and that's going to end up benefiting you in the long run. Like look at Amber. Like she's really out here doing the thing.
Oh,
and
thank you.
just think if she would have just did something else because that's what everybody else said. Like,
or because people told me no, like I didn't take the no and go home and go be upset and cry because people told me no. I kept going. I took that no as yes. Like I flipped. And even though I'm good, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting there. I can see that God has a plan for me. He wants me to learn. He wants me to take those steps. He don't want me to just, you know, because people wake up the next day and they got those opportunities booming for them. You know, that's good for them and all, but I'm putting the work in. So that's all. I don't care. I can say I worked for it. You know what I mean?
Well, you also, like, from schooling, how did you get into going to things like B101 and things like that? I do know you have your own show called Amber Nicole TV. Like, how did you get into going from, okay, I have a degree in communication with a focus in journalism, I want to do this. Like, what is that like? Because some people, I know for me, I didn't do internships as much during college. I tried to do it after college. So what is that process like for people who are either stuck in the middle or trying to decide what they're going to do after college to walk right into those, you know, opportunities like working for B101 and transitioning into CBS 3, because that is big.
Yeah. Well, someone like me, I was just like you. Like I didn't have internship opportunities like that when I was in college. I actually don't even think I had any, because I tried to get them like starting out freshman year, and I was told, oh, you can't be a freshman to get an internship, you gotta be a sophomore and on. Sophomore, oh, you can't be a sophomore getting internships, you have to be a junior or a senior. So I keep being told that you have to be something further, and then when I get there, it's like, no, you have to be further than that. So your senior year, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna just build on my own. That's why I was joining clubs and different teams and stuff like that the school had available for me. That way I can kind of have that under my belt, at least if I didn't have anything else. And then kind of do it on your own. Like, so, also you guys need to go to career fairs. If your school has a career fair, I don't care if it's just for general careers or if it's within the specific school that you're in at that university, you definitely need to use it to your advantage, because after I graduated, or like within my senior year, so this is the story that leads into B101. I went to the career fair for communications at Temple, and I'm going on each and every table. Of course, I have my resumes with me. Oh, use the career center. So I got my headshots taken there. They help me too. Resumes, like they're free photos. The free photos taken, the free business cards, and they may not be the legit paper, but it's a start. So got my little free business cards. I had my resume printed and all this stuff. And all the experience that I had was from me just like shadowing and going to different media events where I was meeting people and networking and like, hey, do you mind if I shadow you for a day or shadow you to get the experience to see if this is something that I really want to do? And I had that on my resume, that I was at NBC 10 from 2 a.m. for an 8-hour shift until 10 a.m. Like, who's doing that?
Because you were volunteering your time. That's important. You can't, if you want to go somewhere, you have to show how valuable you can be to them and build that networking pool. Like, you have to volunteer your services. Anything that you want, like, especially in the media world, even as an actor, you have to volunteer your time. You have to take that free time and go, hey, I'm a volunteer here, or I'm going to shadow you, or I'm going to help. For me, is I'm a PA because I want to know the ropes, and I can do this for free because it gives me experience. So that's a really good way to go in, is by, you know, shadowing somebody and just trying to gain that experience, knowledge. And, you know, like you said, on your resume, like you just went from having nothing on your resume for real to having something on your resume that shows that you work hard and you don't play. So that's good.
Volunteer part, like my internships, I've never had a paid internships. Every single one of my internships were unpaid. So people probably looking like, what? Like, you didn't get paid nothing for not $7.25, not a $5 food stipend, literally nothing. So I had to do it on my own and just find a way on my own. So I'm at this career fair my senior year. I'm going around. I finally get to this one table. Now, mind you, I really wanted to get the 6 ABC, but I'm like, all right, let me go see what, at the time they were 101.1 more FM. They just changed their name back to be 101. So anyway, I go over to the table. The lady, she was like, wow, your resume looks great. Do you mind sitting down right now for an interview? We have a marketing director position open. Are you interested in marketing? I'm like, heck yeah. Like, yeah, like it's communications. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, I market on my own. We market ourselves every day on Instagram, so I can do it. Like, I'm up for the challenge. Literally sit down. She's like, oh my gosh, I have you one and one other person in mind. I'll get back to you. Now, mind you, I didn't get the position, but when I got this job later down the line, she actually reached out to me. She was like, oh, we're hiring for this, that, and the third. Or no, I went to another career fair and I saw someone else at the table and I was like, oh, like, is Bonnie here? That was her name. And they were like, oh, no, but like, I'll give her your information. I was like, yes, like, I interviewed for her. Like, this is probably like years later. And I was like, I would love to like reconnect and all that stuff like that. So she was like, yeah, like, give me your information. I'll pass it along. Literally, she reached out to me and she was like, oh, we have a position open for this and that. Like, would you like to come in the interview? And I immediately got the job. She was like, you already have the job. And we got to do our part. And I'm like, so when I went for the
connection, though, you kept that. It's years later. When first impressions are very, very important. Like, the fact that she can remember you from before and remember your resume then. So she's probably like, imagine now, and it's been years. Oh yeah, definitely she has to come on my team. So like having that first impression, and just being prepared is important. Because you don't get one first impression. If you're not prepared, then you gotta wait till that thing full circles again where you can show yourself. But sometimes it takes a long time for that to full circle. So first impressions are important.
Yeah. And then I want to advice too, like, even though you might want to just go for something, don't be afraid to try other things, because I didn't just have internships for journalism or radio. I had a PR internship and marketing internships. It was like different branches of it just to see kind of where I fit and if I liked it, because you don't know if you like it until you try it. So afraid to try other avenues, to see if there's something that you want to do, because where a lot of people go wrong is that they don't get the experience and then they get into the job and then they don't like it because they didn't go, volunteer their time.
Try it out. You don't know if you're really gonna like it until you try it out. And to be stuck to a career that you don't want to be in, that's not the overall objective. So,
well, now you got to backpedal and go all the way backwards and go try other stuff out, and now you just kind of behind because you should have been doing that from the beginning. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, see, look, y'all need to be taking your pens and paper and writing this down, because this is really valuable information. You're talking to people who have done it, who have got the badge, and who have moved on. So if you can not make these same mistakes, it puts you ahead of the game. And I think that's one thing that a lot of, like, we all wish that we had somebody that was ahead of the game that could have spoke that knowledge onto us. So, just to have Amber on here to be able to speak that knowledge to y'all, just make sure that y'all taking those notes, because this is good, valuable information.
So I'm taking notes on myself right now. Like,
hello.
Like, hold on.
Yeah. So, all right. So you went to college. You did your own thing. You had your own show. You volunteered your work for free. I know you said your mom was a model, and you've been modeling since in the womb. How did you balance all of that and all of that free work with your modeling career? Because you were just a contestant on Ashley Stewart. Like, her modeling rap sheet is just as big, if not longer. Like, she has done a lot of work. So how were you able to balance that and your modeling career and your regular life? Because that's a lot.
Well, my whole life I've been balancing 10 million things at once, because my mom wanted to put me in 10 million things at a time. So I had no choice but to learn how to weigh those things out. But like, for example, when I was on a track team, I had to kind of figure out what was really important to me and what wasn't. So for modeling, I started back up consistently my junior year, and I was like getting into photo shoots, getting casted for stuff, and I was kind of, I was getting scammed a little bit. We didn't really pay anybody, because my mom always knew, like, you never pay nobody. If they're interested, they'll invest into you.
Mm-hmm.
But when I pay, I mean like pay for travel and stuff like that, stuff that they're supposed to pay for. We were doing fake New York Fashion Weeks, getting people to buy tickets to shows that weren't really legit, like stuff like that. Getting scammed. So my mom's like, Amber, I think we should go back to focusing on school. And I was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So that's what I did. And I focused on, I went back to focusing on my show, which is Amber Nicole TV. Well, actually, I might be changing the name to Amber Nicole Productions because I do editing, do a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, just got to give me a little team because I am a one-man band right now. But, so yeah, so because I was on the track team, I had a lot of friends who were athletes who were getting drafted to the NFL, who currently played on the football team, basketball team, just all over the place. And I was like, you know what? I really love sports. I've been an athlete my entire life. I still hold the records for shot put and discus in my high school.
Hey, I did shot put, so hey.
To this day. So I was like, you know what? I hit up some friends. I'm like, hey, would you mind doing the interview? Like that. And they were just like, yeah. And they were like getting drafted or NFL draftees and all this stuff. And I just started there with my show. And it just kind of took off from there. And then I'm like, okay, but what about modeling? Like, so when I was doing my internship in Chicago, I was in the market and some guy, he was like, whoa, I'm a photographer. Like, can I have you as a muse? Like, and I'm like, heck yeah, free photo shoots. Yeah, I'll take it. So I started back up in Chicago. And then when I came home, I just went full throttle. I was just like, you know what? Just learn it as I went, because I would reach out to people and nobody was giving out FX for free. So y'all better take this information and run with it if y'all can. But nobody was giving out free FIs. They were like, oh, I charge this, that, and the third, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, I don't really got it like that. Like, I just got nothing doing a free internship. Like, I'm over here struggling, like whatever. So I just was kind of learning stuff on my own, whether it took for me getting scammed or whatever. But just back to the question, balancing, I just kind of figured out what was more important to me, like just kind of dropped what actually, no, I'm lying. I'm doing that now, but before I just was burning myself out. But yeah, I was biting more than I can chew. I was all over the place, driving myself crazy, stressing myself out. And no, I'm learning boundaries and what and what not to do. And I used to do so much for everybody and myself and all over the place. And now I'm just focusing on me and what I want and what I've been really manifesting and praying for. And that's just what I'm going for now. So talk about balance. I didn't have that back then, but I got it now. So
what are some tips that you can give to somebody about how to balance? Just because I know you said focusing on you more, not giving so much of your time. What's one other thing that they can take away to learn how to balance their life if they're doing multiple things?
Write them down. If you can put them in a numerical order, I would say do that. Write out ways of how you can accomplish them. And I won't say tackle what's easiest first, because I'm kind of backwards. I'll tackle the harder things first, and then I'll work my way down to the easiest, because if it's easy, it's probably always accessible, so you can always get to it. But if it's something that's challenging, that's going to take more time, I say tackle that first, because time is limited, and we don't know how much time we got. And if this is something that you really want, you're going to go for it, and I say do that first. Yeah. Maybe if you can work at a time or do them all at a time, yeah, I'm gonna never tell somebody to work on something one at a time, because that's what I was told my whole life. You can't do this if you want to do that. You can't do radio and TV. It's people out here hosting television shows while they over here as a radio personality. So you can do it all, for real, for real.
It's just all about dedicating your time and discipline and learning it. You don't want to have to do anything. If you're gonna be focused, if you want to do like me, I want to do acting and I want to do hosting. I can't go, okay, I'm going to spend all of this on acting and this much on hosting. It has to be an equal level of discipline and learning, and you have to have the knowledge. So if you want to do more than one thing, I don't suggest more than 2 at a time, because then you don't really discipline yourself enough to have that much knowledge. It's going to take longer. But if you're trying to really get into something, then you got to sit down and hone yourself. Like, no Netflix and chill. No being on your social media unless it's for work related. Like, you got to do those things. You got to be able to focus and hone yourself into those things that you want to do. You can't be distracted. And we're in a pandemic, so guess what? You really can't be distracted because you ain't got nothing to do.
Right, but I don't say not no more than 2. I'll say maybe not no more than 3.
Some people can't handle 3.
It really is on you and your personality.
Some people think I got it. I've seen mental breakdowns. I've seen them. So I guess some really realize what you can do, what you can handle. Because you may think you can handle all of this type of stuff and writing it down and really let it work. But if you realize that something's getting more attention than the other, you might have to sit that one thing to the side or up your game, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you talked about school, internships, modeling, time management. We're actually working towards the end of it. These segments go so fast. You think 30 minutes is just like a blink of an eye, but I do have a closing game for you. So every guest has to do a closing game, right?
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
I'm modeling for Lisa Ray. I was selected out of thousands of girls to model for her campaign. She's launching jeans, and I'm one of them.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you where to find her on social media in a second. Don't worry, because she really got a rap sheet that's longer than 30 minutes. We're gonna be here an hour and a half if we really talked about everything, all the knowledge. But like she said, she has empowerment courses. She has these empowerment classes. So if you're interested in knowing more about her, if you're interested in knowing like her path or different things that you can do, I know I put my little niece on to her, and now she's out here flourishing right now. Like,
Foot Locker.
hello. Yeah, Foot Locker. She did an ad for Foot Locker. If you want to know all about that, please follow her on social media. It will be there. Yeah. I will make sure she tell you it right after this game, because she ain't getting away from this game, okay? So I just chose something very simple for you. Each guest has to choose a game or play a game. I chose this or that for you. So you basically just have to say this or that. It's not that many, and you can't stumble. You just got to go through it, okay?
All right.
This or that. Photo shoot or runway?
Photo shoot.
New York or LA?
LA.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Spa day or in the gym?
Both.
Rain or snow?
Rain.
Spring or fall?
Fall.
T-shirts or sweaters?
Sweaters.
Sleep in or get up early?
Sleep in.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
Money or fame?
Money, girl.
If there was one person that you could be stuck in a room with, who would it be and why?
Oprah Winfrey. We have a lot in common. We both in the communication. She's doing what I would love to do. She gives back something that I love to do. Literally look up to her, love her. I would love to be stuck in a room to get all those gems. Honey, I'm telling you, okay? Oprah Winfrey.
Gems indeed.
Yes.
So thank you for playing my game. Please let the audience know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on XO_Amby, AMBEYY, and Amber Nicole TV. So that's AMBERNICOLE TV.
Hey, and if you want to take any of her courses, hopefully when the pandemic lets up, or if whatever knowledge that you want, just shoot it to her. Shoot her a DM. She's very open and receptive to spit knowledge. It's really hard to get knowledge out here, so this is what the Creative Corner is about, is to have people spit that knowledge or share their information with you, to be totally transparent and just honestly just share. This is what it is. It's a safe haven for y'all to learn and for them to just let it go, okay? So thank you so much, Amber. I really appreciate you. She got a busy schedule, so you know, she got 17 other things she got to do in the middle of this pandemic. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Creatives Corner. This is Amber. I am Janelle, and have a wonderful day. Peace.